This is a Mortarbox Media podcast. For more podcasts and to learn how we can help you create your own, visit mortarboxmedia.com.
Welcome to Women AF, the podcast hosted by three friends who have powered through some serious technical difficulties to be here recording right now, ready for another fun-filled conversation.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm here. It's me, Carrie. I'm here with Nicole.
That's me.
And Danny.
Ew.
Yay! It's good to see you guys.
It's good to see you, even though we've been seeing each other for like the last half hour.
Good point. Good point. While we worked through all our glitches and situations, but we got it.
We love technology.
Yeah,
Woo-hoo.
for sure. What's going on, guys? What's new since we last spoke? Nicole,
Can
you
I
got a
start?
giggle face. Yeah, Danny,
Oh,
you can
Nicole,
start.
wait. Do you want to
No,
start, Nicole?
No, I'm laughing because I didn't prepare anything. I have no idea what's going on. And I was the first one that was like, oh, shit.
Danny. What
Okay.
about you, what's going on?
So
Nicole, some time.
this is kind of so for listeners who don't know about the stuff that happened in Kenosha, which I feel like everyone does, but just in
I
case
should hope
somebody
so.
from the future is listening back and they're like, what is happening? There is a guy, Jacob Blake, who is shot a bunch of times in the back by police, and then, not surprisingly, a bunch of just craziness happened, as it should, because that's not okay. Anyway, there's lots of rallies and things that were going on this weekend in Kenosha. And so we took part of the car caravan that went from Madison to Kenosha and then met up with a bunch of people in Milwaukee. And I just have to say, so it was put on by Freedom Inc. So I really wanted to talk about it specifically so I could talk about Freedom Inc. And Urban Triage. Those are two organizations in our area that are doing a lot. But anyway, so Freedom Inc. put this particular event on. And when we got to the point of Milwaukee, where we were meeting up with the other car caravan, everyone that was there, we all blocked the entire highway, 90-94 in Milwaukee, and so that the other caravan could come up in front of us. And I just have to say, like, the people that were putting it on are the bravest people on the planet, because they were like, they got out of their cars and like there was people harassing them, and like everyone was calm and like collected and like, look, and truly we probably weren't even blocking traffic for more than 10 minutes. And we got probably equal amounts of hate and equal amounts of people who were just like cheering for what was happening. But I just have to say, like, it's just incredible to me how the people that specifically organize these types of events really put themselves out there in like a really intense and vulnerable way. And it was a really powerful moment when she was standing in the middle of 90-94, and like there was this giant Ford truck that drove by and was like cussing her out and like trying to give her the middle finger and trying to go up on the shoulder, which was definitely not going to happen because there just wasn't enough space. People were driving like on the other side, they were like driving way up on the grass. It was just a little bit outrageous and just screaming. And I was just thinking, the amount of like anger and hatred that people have for what's happening, for what in their life is a minor inconvenience, just being held up for 5-10 minutes. It was just, and then the grace that she had just to stay calm, just explain what was happening and like just organize this whole thing. It was pretty incredible. So I just wanted to shout out, if you're in the Wisconsin area, Freedom Inc. and then also Urban Triage are doing a lot of things that you can get involved in.
Hey, the person who started Urban Triage actually is the one who bought all of my podcasting gear that I was selling, because they are going to be starting a podcast. So be on the lookout for that.
That is awesome.
Ooh.
And one thing I also just really wanted to call out about both of these organizations, and I'm sure if you're not in the Wisconsin area, there's other similar organizations in your area. They also post like community things that you can do. Like, we need you to email these people or this group of people about this, or there's a community organization or event that you can show up here, or you can call these people. And the times that I've been paying attention to like the email things, like really it actually makes a difference. Like, there have been votes that have been changed, or school board decisions that have been changed, or community board decisions that have been changed. So I know sometimes, especially like trying to make movements, it feels like your voice is too small, you can't do anything, you can't really make a difference. But it's really neat to see, like, especially on a community level, you can make a difference, and these organizations are doing a lot of work on the ground.
Well, I think for Nicole, who has not prepared anything, that is going to be hard to follow up. Nicole, what's up?
I don't know. Can I just ask a question that you guys might get mad at me for?
Definitely.
Awesome. Adam just made a face at me. It's fine. So when talking about these types of protests, what is the ultimate goal of like blocking traffic?
In this so actually Daniel and I had that conversation, because he was also like, do you think a car caravan made a difference? And I think it was a 3-part thing. So the first thing is, sometimes in order to get people to pay attention, you have to disrupt their lives. So I think that was a big part of it. A big part of it was saying, hey, everyone who got stopped in traffic, you're going to ask, why are we stopped in traffic? Yeah. And it forces people to look at what's happening. The second thing is, at one point there was a sheriff that was following the car caravan, and this was after we had stopped blocking traffic and we were driving, and they were trying to get in between the car caravan, and I assume were taking everyone's license plates, because they would go up to the next car and stop, and then go up to the next car and slow down. So part of it was also to kind of cause a bit of disruption. Not dangerous or violent disruption, like nobody was getting hurt, but disruption even for the police force, just to be like, hey, like, we're paying attention, or people are noticing, people, like, this isn't okay. And then I think probably the most important thing that was happening is there was a lot of rallies in Kenosha. So the vast majority of the people in the car caravan were on the way to the rally. And so the people in Madison were essentially helping the people in Milwaukee get there, because we were blocking the way for them to lead in front of us. So we were kind of physically just putting ourselves, I guess, like, in a way, you could say, like, in harm's way to let them get in front. But it's kind of the same idea. Like, if you're at a rally, and you've heard people say, like, if people are either people or police are coming, or people are starting to be violent, you can physically block people of color, especially if you're a white person, put yourself in between. And so that was kind of, I think, the idea, is to put ourselves in between so that we could make sure everyone got there safely, that kind of a thing.
Yeah. Can I ask another dumb question?
Sure.
So with this caravan, like, did you have signs and stuff, or like, how did people in their cars know that the purpose of it?
So the way we all knew each other in the caravan is we had like a flag out our window.
Oh, okay.
And then there was quite a few people with like Black Lives Matter type of signs that were on their car.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good questions.
I see those sometimes. I'm like, I don't understand the like intent behind them. So I was just curious. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's new with me? So it's been like a month since I started my job, and it's been really hard because onboarding virtually has been really, really hard for me, because I'm the kind of person that, like, I'll send an email and then I'll go walk over to your desk and be like, hey, did you get it? Hey, can we just talk about this? Like, yes, we can make an email train about it, but Like I'm much better talking one-on-one and like understanding people and circumstances. So it's been really hard to try and figure out virtually how to, know people and talk with people. And I've been feeling very like new girl-ish, like out in the corner, just get shit done and then like close the computer or whatever. But just for funsies, we're doing a big rebranding and we've been having an agency do the rebranding. And just for funsies, I was like, hey, like as I'm learning about the company, I came up with some rebrand stuff. Do you want to see it, boss? And my boss saw it and she's like, this is better than the agencies.
Nice.
And I'm like, okay, cool. And she goes, well, can we? And then so I worked with somebody else and we refined it a little bit more. And then she's like, all right, I'm going to show the VP of marketing. I'm like, okay, sure. Like I've only been here a month and the agency's been working on it since April. Like, okay.
Wow.
But so how my boss did it is she showed the agency's work to the VP and then showed me and my copywriter friend our work. And like my boss was explaining to her like, all right, well, here's the concept. And the VP's like, shh, I want to read it. Like, let me just read it. I'm so fascinated by this stuff. I want to read it. So she really liked our stuff. And I was
awesome.
like,
That's amazing.
Great.
That's huge.
I know.
Good for you. And you didn't have anything to say. That's huge.
I know.
That's so
but
cool.
I hate to talk about myself. But it felt real good.
You're on a podcast
Yeah.
where we want you
Yeah.
to talk about yourself.
And that's
Yeah,
a pretty good
true.
story about yourself. So
True.
very
Anyway,
exciting.
Let's go. What about you, Carrie?
Cool. Well, my husband went back to work.
Yay.
And then this week was the first week for a couple months now that my kids have been home full time because they were going to their summer program. So it's been definitely different around here. And I feel like this week has been a bit of so far, a warm up to what's coming next week, which is virtual school starting. And I'm very scared. I don't know what to expect. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know how I'm going to do this now that my husband's gone.
Because he's physically gone, right?
He's physically gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
It's
terrified.
you.
I'm terrified.
you.
And I'm just trying to come up with creative ways to sort of get organized and help them figure out what time they have to be doing what, because they've got a lot of live teacher instruction happening and they have to get online at a certain time. And I mean, they're not going to be able to manage this themselves. And I don't have the bandwidth to do all of this for them. So there's got to be some sort of we got to meet in the middle and come up with some systems. So if anybody has any ideas,
could you do a
shoot 'em my way.
big poster board of Monday to Friday
yes,
and
there
the
will be a
hours?
big schedule up on the wall, color coded or whatever. So they have a visual of their day.
It should definitely be
Yeah.
color coded.
Yeah.
Got to be color coded. So
Gotta be.
I don't know. That's what we've got so far, basically. And we think we're going to set up Alexa to do different alarms.
Oh, that's a
and
good idea.
Say their name specifically, like, "Hey, it's time
Yeah.
to log on for whatever."
Yeah.
We'll see.
I like it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a
That-
crapshoot.
That is one thing. I was listening to one of my other favorite podcasts, Why Mommy Drinks, and they were talking about how right now there's no real support system for parents. There's teachers are banding together. They're trying to work it out. Yeah, there's alcohol and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
But there's no real there's no real parent sharing tips.
Yeah, and I think
or-
part of that
Sorry,
is
did I
just
freeze?
we
There's
have
no,
to
yeah.
we have to experience it first before we can really figure out what the problems are, because I don't know what to expect next week at all. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
But even that tip about Alexa starting alarms. That's a great tip.
That was my
I like
husband's
that a
idea.
lot.
I was like, that's solid. I like that.
Yeah,
So
I like that idea
that's
a
really
lot.
good.
if that works, I will share that with the masses.
Do it.
The masses.
Everybody in the world.
Every single person.
Yeah. So, all right. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we should maybe move on because we've got a pretty good episode ahead of us. I think at least for us three, because this is something we've all been kind of excited about lately, just real recently, and we're passionate. And we're going to get into talking a little bit about our newfound loves of running and our current workout kicks. So,
Which is not necessarily sneakers.
there was that confusion. Nicole
True.
said workout kicks, and both Danny and I were like, yeah, shoes. Yeah, that's a big part of it. Kicks.
And I had no idea. I'm like, how did you get the shoes?
But maybe workout spurts. Is that
Trends? And
Yeah.
phases?
sure? Whatever it is, that's what we're going to be talking about.
And for everyone on Patreon, I just want to call out, we have an outfit change.
Look at him go.
I was self-conscious in my super tight shirt. I was telling Carrie and Nicole before you hopped on, Danny, that I got down to 198 from my heaviest of 350. And then in the last month, I've gone back up to 215, and I suddenly hate it. And so, speaking of working out, I'm on topic today. So I was suddenly feeling self-conscious because I'm not my svelte self when I bought that shirt. So
I think you'll have a lot to contribute today.
Thanks for calling it into attention.
Well, it looked like a fashionable outfit change, like mid-show. Okay, now we're getting into the topic. I've got to
I put on my smoking jacket for the
topic.
Anyway, what are you reminding your Patreon people for?
Because they can watch a video. They can watch this video. I got you, Danny.
Thanks.
They can watch this video and see our beautiful faces all talking at each other through a screen.
I mean, if you're not on Patreon for us, get on there because you're
missing out.
You don't want to miss this.
No, It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And you can get there on patreon.com/WomenAF podcast. Oh, and there's a knife.
Oh, gosh.
This doesn't seem safe.
Be
Y'all want to
careful.
tune in. Tune in on Patreon for sure.
Oh, my God.
I've never seen cheese cut that way.
Cheese or bread? Is that a whole loaf of bread?
No, I'm a diabetic and I don't have a death wish. I'm cutting off the wax, or the
But you'd rather have a death wish with a knife than carbs. I get it.
I just so the listeners know, I am high as a kite right now. So cutting this is not going well.
And it doesn't sound safe.
No.
The biggest knife possible.
Yeah.
That works.
Good time.
Yes. Okay. So working out.
Yeah. I am excited to get into this topic with you guys. Guys, I'm a bargain hunter. I love sales, coupons, resale sites, all of that. So when I discovered Ibotta, I was all in. Ibotta is a free rebate app that has tons of offers to help you save money and earn real cash back on everyday purchases, both online and in-store. I use it almost every time I go grocery shopping, and it's actually pretty fun. I like to see how many deals I can rack up in a single shopping trip. It's easy too. You just choose the store you're shopping at in the app, add offers on items you plan to buy, and then when you're done shopping, you just upload a picture of your receipt. But listen, there are so many other ways you can use Ibotta too, like for shopping online. It works with hundreds of stores, literally hundreds, including delivery and subscription services like Uber Eats and Instacart. I've gotten cash back shopping online at both Amazon and Old Navy, but there are so many, including a few of our other Women AF sponsors like Wink Wine Club and Thrive Market. And the more you use Ibotta, the more the deals add up. The average Ibotta user actually earns about $20 a month. And the best part, every time you reach that $20 threshold, you can withdraw that money directly into your bank or PayPal account, and boom, you're $20 richer. And who doesn't want to be richer? So if you want in on this fabulous bargain hunting life, head to womenafpodcast.com, go to our sponsors page, and click the link to find out more about Ibotta. All right, guys, let's talk about running.
Woohoo!
Now,
Yay!
I feel like if anybody's listened to some recent episodes, they've heard that we all suddenly, for some reason, separately started running at different points this summer, and we're all pretty pumped about it.
Yeah.
So let's try to pin, why exactly do you think we all suddenly, boom, we're like, hey, we're running, yay. Is it like a quarantine related thing? Is it just nice weather? It's summer. Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this?
Well, Adam thinks it was because of him, because he started it.
Because he started working out. So we started working out.
Yeah.
You guys got
7
so
months
sick
later.
of me. Yeah, you guys got so sick of me coming on each week on these videos and like just being like, "Oh, I feel great. I'm running all the time." You guys are like, "Fine, fuck. We'll start running, okay?"
So it was when you started your unicycle trend, and I'm like,
Ooh.
fuck that. I'm going running, not unicycling.
Because we still have to do the thing where he chases us on the
Yes.
unicycle. So
Right.
we need to be
With my giant cheese knife.
ready.
Yes,
Cheese knife.
giant cheese knife.
Yes, exactly.
I do this thing where I'll work out, come home and get high, and then be like, I'm going to eat all the fatty foods. Because like I can't eat sugary foods when I get the
Ooh,
money.
that sounds really fun.
Yeah, I
It
do.
does.
Yeah. So for me, I'll talk about me because I love talking about me.
Thought you didn't. Okay.
I know, it's
Continue.
fine. But for me, so I was a hardcore soccer player. I played year round. I reffed it. I played it. I played indoor, summer. I was in varsity. Anyway. So running was always like, that was how I worked out. Like I just ran. So a couple months ago, I was like, I really need to start working out again. Like that's all I knew is like run. So that's why I ran.
So you just threw on some shoes and headed out the door.
Yeah, which
Boom.
that is a huge thing because my knees, so I went way too fast and I went like in a month, I went from not running at all and sitting on the couch most nights to running and my knees started killing me. So, and I was using shoes, well, I still am using shoes that I had pre-pregnancies.
Oh, man.
So I think I need to update my kicks.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, update those kicks.
So you have not updated yet, is what you're saying.
No, I'm trying to go through the process of like how to figure out what, because I can't really go into stores and have it assessed. Like
Right.
I can, but
You can, though.
yeah, I don't know which stores are open right now
I do.
for it. You do? Oh, okay.
I would really suggest going and getting it assessed and not
Yeah.
buying online sight unseen because the amount of sores or like just like not diet. Listen, I'm diabetic, but I don't have a diabetic blister. But the blisters that I've gotten from running, from the shoes that I'm like, oh, I'll take a chance on these ones, and it's not. It's so worth it. Put on a mask. Put on 7 masks. Go get your feet assessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7.
I've seen
Go to
some.
Fleet Feet.
Oh yeah, I've also seen some online. You can do like a virtual. You get like a video conference, and then you put the laptop on the ground and like run in front of it, and they can kind of tell what you're doing.
Sounds like a lot of work. I
I'm
don't know.
not sure those are websites that are meant to help you decide what.
Stop it! Yes, it
I think
is.
those are websites for other types of individuals.
No, stop it.
Well, shoes is a big reason why I actually started running again this summer. I did the couch to 5K last summer. I've never been a runner, never liked running. It's just not my favorite thing to do. But Danny, you're the one that got me into this stupid couch to 5K app last summer. And I, of course, got hooked immediately because it's like a game. You know, it's like a game. It's like a challenge. You got to do it every dang day and try to beat your last performance. And I actually did run a 5K.
Good job.
And then basically after the 5K, I was like, yep, done. The end. This chapter is over. But earlier in the summer, a friend of mine from my gym was like, have you tried running at all since you started working out here at the gym? And I was like, nah, I hate running. She's like, I was just really surprised at how much easier it has been for me doing all this training in the gym and stuff. And I was like, yeah. She's like, try it. I'm like, no. She's like, run a mile. I'm like, fine. So I ran a mile. She's like, how was it? I was like, it's the worst thing ever. I'm never doing it again. And then I said, however, I do know that my shoes are old and it might make a difference if I get new shoes. So let me try that. So I did. I got new shoes. I needed new shoes real bad. And then I ran another mile and I was like, damn, that is all the difference in the world right there. It didn't feel awful. My body felt okay.
Yeah.
My joints didn't hurt. I mean, this is a 45-year-old body. It needs some cushioning down on the bottom there if I'm going to be running around. And it really made all the difference. And from there, I just kept going. It's all about the kicks.
Can that be the title of this episode?
Yeah.
All
about
the
the
kicks.
kicks.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, for me, I'm still in old shoes.
Oh, Danny.
Well, it's fine.
You guys.
It's fine.
I'm just saying, the right pair of shoes is going to make you fly away on a cloud.
Although these shoes are really good. I mean, these have been like kind of exclusive working out shoes. So I only ever wear them working out, and they're Brooks, which it was a new brand. Yeah, it was a new brand for me at the time, but they're really good. So
yeah.
I've primarily only really used them ever to play volleyball. So I feel like, I don't know, that I seem fine in them. So it's also, I don't know.
Okay.
I work out prior to running. I was working out pretty frequently. I was doing like, we had a workout group that does like HIIT type of workouts through work. So I've been doing that. I also did the Center app, CENTR, which is Chris Hemsworth's workout app. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Yeah, we know what you're saying.
Unfortunately, he only leads like one of the workouts, but worth it.
One to get you going.
Probably. But I did a 6-week free trial with that right when the Safer at Home started, because obviously I couldn't go to, at that point we hadn't started doing like the teams workout. So I was like, well, how am I going to get my workouts? And I used to be a Beachbody coach a while ago. So I have like 5,000 Beachbody DVDs. So I was doing those. And then Center was doing like a 6-week free trial. I ended up signing up for a year with them because they also have like a meal planning section in the app, which I really liked. And they also have meditations built in. So I thought that was cool. And they have like this huge variety. So I was doing that. So it was like kickboxing or yoga or Pilates or just your kind of your standard HIIT workouts. But then I was like, okay, I have always wanted to be a runner. Like I have this like, in my head, this like image of me just like, you know, it's got the music and I'm running. There's probably a sunset and my hair is down, which I would never run with my hair down, just throwing it out there. But in this imagination in my head, I'm like running, my hair is going back and I'm like, running is the best thing ever. I feel so free. And I've always had this thing in my head where I'm just like, it feels like something I want to love. And to the point where I used to subscribe to like 3 different runners magazines.
That's insane.
Without having been a runner. And so I was like, you know what? I used to struggle so much with running in high school when we had to run the mile. It was like I would dread it for weeks. And I was thinking, right now, my kids are at that age where they like to run around. And so I'm like, I want to be able to help them run. But I can't do that if I can't run. So I'm like, let me pull up this Couch to 5K app that I got Carrie started on last year, but I only did 2 of the things. And then I
You
started
ditched me.
I did. And then I
Yeah.
started doing the Couch to 5K app, and I made it so I could only listen to my favorite podcast. And that's why we drink while I was running. So I would start to associate something fun with it. And now I don't even need to I don't know if I want to say trick myself into enjoying it. Like I actually look forward to it. And I'm on week 6.
That's
Good
awesome.
job. That's awesome.
How many weeks is it total again? I
Well, I think it's only 8. I think there's only a couple weeks left before we get to the 5K, because last week we did the week 5, day 3, which I found a subreddit for this app, by the way.
Whoa.
I was on there too.
Yeah. So I joined the Couch to 5K subreddit.
It's really cute.
Yeah. And week 5, day 3 is the first time you run 20 minutes. So you jump from 2 8-minute intervals to a straight 20-minute run. And it's almost a bigger victory in the subreddit than actually completing it.
Totally.
There's there's this big mind game that happens. And so I posted that I did that on Saturday. And so I posted that I did it. And actually I went past the 20 minutes. I went past the point where it said I could stop, and I did a full extra minute.
Oh
And
my
that's
gosh.
And I was not
That's awesome.
dying, and it was exciting. But so then I wasn't feeling great this weekend. So I took 3 days ish off. And so today was the next day I ran, but it was harder today doing 3 shorter intervals than it was to do the 20-minute run. And I was like, that's weird. So I don't know if either of you have experienced that, but I struggled so much harder today doing 5 and 8-minute intervals than I did doing a full 20-minute run.
That is running for me. I never know what's going to happen when I start out. Am I going to be able to run 3 miles and feel amazing the whole time, or I'm going to slog through half a mile and want to die the whole time? It's hard to figure out why that is, because sometimes it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Same with you, Nicole. Some days are hard.
Yeah, the same. So today I ran 1.5 miles, and I was dogging it the whole 1.5 miles. It was really hard, which normally I can go 2 miles. And then what day was it? On 2 days ago when I ran, it was in the rain. I thought it was done raining. And then I was like, I'm going to go for a run. And I go outside and I'm starting to run and just rain. But of course, that was right when my body was like, I can go farther.
Yeah. Can I ask a dumb question?
A little bit. Yeah, what? I love to.
Cool. What is dogging it mean it's bad?
I think I associate it with you're really tired,
Oh. Because I was thinking dogs run really fast and a lot.
They do. They do.
So, but
Right.
bad. It was rough, is what you were
The
saying.
panting, I think, was the
Panting,
main
wanting to
characteristic.
lay down. Because I've had some dogs where you go on a walk and they're wanting to lay down in the
Yes.
grass.
Yes.
That kind of dogging it.
walk.
Okay, got it.
Which is what
Got
I
it.
wanted to do today. Just randomly lay
Yeah.
down. Because it was hard.
Did you have fun running in the rain? I feel like that'd be fun.
I did. I was really worried about my electronics. I had my phone on me, and then I
Yeah.
had my headphones, which are a little bit, I splurged a little bit more. So I didn't want to get them hurt. But I was running next to, I run in a little neighborhood. And so this really sweet lady, I have no idea who she is, but she came out of her house and she's like, oh, it's still raining. As I'm running by getting drenched with rain, I'm like, yeah, I didn't know it was supposed to still rain, as I'm still running. She's like, oh, hang in there. It was really cute.
Cute. Hey, isn't that what you've been wanting? You wanted somebody to wave at you and encourage you.
I did. And so then a couple days ago, I was running and somebody was blowing bubbles with their little kid. And she was like, and now it's a bubble run. And she's blowing bubbles on the sidewalk so that I can run through it. I'm like, yes.
That's fun. I love
love
that. I should come
Okay.
run in your neighborhood.
Yeah,
Yes.
you should.
Who's going to blow bubbles for me is what I want to know.
My neighbor can.
I bet your kids
Especially
would.
if I was
That's
running. Yeah,
true.
true. I was also as I was running, my 4-year-old Mally was riding her bike. And normally what we say to her when we're on a walk and she's riding her bike is, "Oh, you're so fast. We can't catch up with you." Like trying to encourage her. So the whole time we were trying to exercise together, she's way behind me and she's going, "Mom, you're doing so good. You're going so fast. I can't even catch up with you."
Oh my
and like
God.
she's going so slow back there, but I know she can catch up.
So perfect. What a sweetie. My kids would be like, "Oh, Mom, you suck. You're so slow. I'm going to beat you." They would just shoot right past.
I knew what she was doing, but then all the neighbors, I'm sure, was like, "Wow, that dumb mom is just running way ahead of her poor kid." As her kid's saying, "You're so fast."
They knew better.
And if not, that's fine. Whatever. It's fine.
It is fine. Speaking of your electronics, I think we touched on this a little bit, just the three of us, about tracking your runs, your pace, your distance, all that stuff. Because I think you guys both do that, right?
Yeah,
And I do not. So what is the draw?
Go Adam.
So for me, I always hated running. I hated exercising in general. I just thought I was comfortable at my weight. I knew I was big, but I was just like, whatever. I like the draw to sit on the couch and play video games was way bigger than like the draw to being healthy and being able to fit in the clothes that I wanted to wear. So getting an Apple Watch and then being able to track all of that video gamified working out for me.
Oh, interesting.
I looked at calories burnt and miles ran and pace, whatever going up. I looked at that as points being won in the video game.
Yeah.
So it really changed my perspective on it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that
I would
probably
say,
change a lot of people's perspective. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm the same way, and I really am motivated by challenges. So like I just completed a 100 workouts in 100 days challenge, which I was doing for fun. Like I wasn't doing it with like a group or anything. I just saw one of my friends had done it. Like I think it originated as like a beach body challenge, and I was like, well, that's cool, but I'm not going to do beach body, but I could still do 100 workouts in 100 days. So then I roped my mom into it.
Cute.
And I just put like a thing up on my bulletin board and I just tracked it. And now I'm doing like a 100 days macro challenge where I'm keeping really tight to my macros for 100 days. And I'm not drinking soda. And so
awesome.
I'm on, today is day 10 of that. And again, I'm the only one doing it, but to like kind of be able to cross that off every day, it's the same to me as like tracking, where it's like, oh, I ran further or faster, or today was really hard, but I still did, however much. I mean, I track it on Fitbit and my fitness map, my fitness, which is like, it's like a MyFitnessPal sub app, I guess. I don't know. And
Okay.
I also do the Couch to 5K app, and I paid for the upgrade, so that also tracks. And it's like, there's really no reason for me to track it in 3 places, except for that I find it really exciting. And like, I'm to the point where if I have my watch off and it's charging, I'm like, oh, is there any point in even walking to the other room? Because it's not tracking my steps.
Doesn't. Is that how you feel, Nicole? Like, it's got to be recorded on the watch. Otherwise, it doesn't count. It's no good.
Yeah, I do. I have a Fitbit Versa, which is a lot like an Apple Watch, but Fitbit-ish. But I love it because of as I'm running, it tells me when I'm at a half a mile, and it tells me when I'm at a mile. So as I'm going, I'm kind of like, oh, I'm there. I'm going to keep going. Like and then in the app, it tells me like how fast I'm going at what point, when I was kind of really tired, if I'm burning, if I'm at my peak right now, or if I'm at my burning cardio, or what I'm doing with my workout is really fascinating to me. I also have, my husband's an accountant, so of course he has a spreadsheet for calories. So I also do like a spreadsheet to try and help gauge all my calories and intake, and in order to lose weight. So what do you do, Carrie?
All right. I do not do anything. I do not have an Apple Watch. I do not have a Fitbit.
I mean,
I have a fit butt.
Yeah, you do.
Big booty gains.
I think I'm not a numbers person, so it's just never really like I was never like, oh, I need a Fitbit, like, and I just never thought about it really. And I think it's kind of like what I'm doing now has been just sort of really an organic kind of improvement. I just started running that mile. And then I ran a mile again. And then I just kind of kept doing it. I was like, I'll do this. This is good. I'll run a mile. But then one day I was like, I can run more than that. I feel good. I'm going to keep going. And I just sort of like having that freedom of no expectations, no pressure, no numbers counting down. I'm just going to run as far as I feel like it feels good. And then I'm not going to do that. And then, so what I do is I just kind of run, I extend my run or I shorten my run. And then I come home and I just map it like on a map and like, look at how far I went.
Nice.
Like,
Because I do want to know. I want to know. I do what?
Do you get a ruler
I
out?
unfold my map.
and you draw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you measure it with
And
the
I measure it against the key.
Every
Yes.
run.
I mean,
I like it.
I'm not that antiquated, but no. Like there are websites, okay, where you can just easily like map out your row.
Yeah.
And I think like I used to do the like numbers thing. Like when I was in my 20s, I went through kind of a running stage, but I did it all on the treadmill because I really wanted to see those numbers flash past like the whole time. And I think I'm just not at that point in my life now. Like I just want to do what feels good to my body and keep it loose, keep it free. And I'm kind of into it because like still I know how far I'm going and I know I'm improving. And that's all I really need to know.
Yeah. What do you guys listen to? That was a game changer for me, is not listening to music and listening to like a story or a book or a podcast. What do you guys listen to?
Podcasts are the best because they really kind of take your mind off of it.
Yes. Yep.
Same
I
podcast.
listen to episodes of so there's a Dateline NBC, like the show, they do a podcast where it's just audio from their episodes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to have, a murder story, because it's murder. If it's Dateline, it's murder. To have it
course.
be like this amazing story that gets solved in an hour or less, sometimes they're an hour and a half. It's like, okay, I can focus on this instead of focusing on how much it sucks to be sweating right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good call.
I'm either audiobook or podcast.
Yeah.
And it's usually a murder podcast. I'm the same.
Yeah. Me
And then
too.
you can also play the game of like, I'm running away from somebody.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Although if you're running down like kind of a secluded path.
Yeah, I don't like
It's a
those
little
murder
scary.
ones then. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't run down secluded paths. Thankfully, the paths by my house have been pretty like occupied enough that I feel comfortable without feeling like there's a lot of people to see me sweat.
Nice.
I don't do the early runs like I used to anymore because I just was like, I was my performance at work was slipping because like I was not awake at work.
Yeah.
But when I was doing the early morning runs, I'd start running at like 4:15 in the morning. And in the dead of summer, that means there's still 3 hours of darkness left.
Yeah.
Before the light comes out. So I'd put on this scary murder podcast and then go run the path in the dark. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking die.
Yeah.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
I don't think
While
I
you're
can do
listening
that.
to murder podcasts.
Right.
Yeah. How
Right.
ironic.
I was convinced I was going to be raped or that I was going to die or that I was both,
Abducted.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So, you know what, guys? I'm interrupting so much, but it's only because I'm a little high. And right before we started, Nicole was like, "Oh, by the way, my brother loves when you talk." And so I was, like, of course I'm going to start talking now. So
I missed that too.
I know.
I
know.
miss so many conversations.
I know. Well, it's so nice that like we get our perspective and then Adam comes in and is like, hey, let's flip it on the head and get this perspective.
Flip
I
it
like
on the head.
Flip it on the head.
Flip it on. That's the saying, right? Flip
Put
it
my
on.
thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Yes, that is the
That's
saying.
the commentary.
Yes.
I like.
Right.
All right, let me go back to something that we talked about briefly before. Do you consider yourself a runner? Would you label yourself a runner? Hi, I'm Danny and I'm a runner. Does that fit?
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
I am Danny and I like to run 3 times a week. That also is intervals of walking. That also, when I stop running and start walking, I don't know if my speed changes.
It doesn't have the same ring to it as I'm a runner, but I like it.
Yeah.
I think
I like-
saying that you're an interval runner is makes sense because actually interval running it's not necessarily better for you overall as health wise goes, but it's super good for your heart. I mean, it's a really good thing for your heart.
Yes.
So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm just taking care of my heart.
I mean,
there you go.
I'm an interval runner. That sounds cool.
Yeah,
I could say that.
gives you the opportunity because most people go, what does that mean? Because not everybody does that.
Yeah, true.
And it gives you the opportunity to teach, which maybe that just means I'm a cocky son of a bitch, but I like to teach people.
Okay,
How about that, Danny?
Saying that, I'm
Yeah.
Danny and I am an interval runner.
Well, you got to say it smoother than that. Try again.
I'm Danny and I'm Danny and I'm an interval runner.
That's what I'm talking about.
Interval runners.
There it is. Nicole, what about you? Hi, I'm Nicole, and I'm a runner.
I could say that, I guess. What I will say is, hi, I'm Nicole, and I like to run when I'm stressed. Because it's been like a me time. Or like I had a headache and I was like, I just want to go for a run and get this headache out. So I think I'm not really a runner, but I know how to use running to have it be a my time or a stress reliever. I know
that's cool.
Probably
but
the
why
same
does that-
thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, why does that mean you're not a runner?
Because I don't like to run for fun.
Okay.
I get it. I know what you
I do.
I would never say that I'm a runner. I would say that I'm a health conscious forward person. Like that.
Okay.
That is the thing that is most at the forefront of my mind is being health conscious. And so for Nicole, even her reason for running as me time, that's still being health conscious, even not, the way that we would think about it. So I don't like the term runner because I think of that as a certain thing that it like the people that I know who say, oh, I'm a runner. I don't care for those people. Or the people that I know, I don't like, or just my history with people like that, like I was fat. I was a fat guy and people like that looked down on me just because I was heavy. And I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I want people healthy, but there are plenty of overweight people who lead otherwise healthy lives.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Nicole, you could also say, I'm a soccer player with no ball.
I like that.
Sure.
That gets my vote. But
My-
Nicole, my answer is like your answer. I'm not a runner because honestly, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it. I love like the fact that I'm improving and it feels good. But like when I'm running, I'm like, God, why am I doing this every time?
A runner is
So, forget it.
talks about the runner's high that they get.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like it, bro. Just getting up early in the morning, first thing, run. Oh, it's like heroin in my veins, bro.
Okay, has anyone ever gotten a runner's high? Because I have never had one.
I feel
never
like I get the
done
opposite.
running and thought, I'm so glad I did that. I get done running every time and it's like, fuck that.
Yes, exactly.
You should do an episode. Fuck that, running.
Yep.
It's just so interesting to me how like you can feel like that, but yet keep going back and doing it day after day. Like it's I don't know. It's a unique feeling and I'm into it. So
It is.
Yeah. Well, I hope I can kind of keep abreast of all your progress, guys. I don't know. I said abreast.
We could share our stats with you.
Yeah. Let's keep.
That was the funniest thing, Carrie, because you said breast like we had been talking about boobs this whole time. Like it was referring to something back in the episode. No correlation to anything.
It was just the only word I could think of in the moment. So I went with it.
Amazing.
Yeah, anyway, let's keep each other up to date on our progress and keep motivating each other. Stop laughing.
Okay.
Let's just keep up the roll we're on, because it's good for us and we're going to keep doing it.
Yep, we are.
Deal?
Yeah.
Deal. Oh, and we
Deal.
are going to run a 5K together.
Yes, we
Yes,
are.
we
That is
are.
happening. We don't know when, but it will happen.
It will
We'll do
happen.
it.
Amazing.
If we have to make one up and chart it on a map, then we're gonna fucking do it.
Yeah, a paper map with a pen.
Yeah, with a pencil and a
And we're
ruler.
gonna measure out the distance.
Happening.
It's gonna happen.
And it's happening because we're Women AF, and we know you are too. Women AF is produced by Mortarbox Media and engineered by Adam Rostad. Intro and outro music is SQZ by Shane Ivers. Check him out at silvermansound.com. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review.